Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. It's a makeup game from a rainout back on May the 20th, and it's the final out bobblehead day as well. They were lined up at the gates early, and the first place Milwaukee Brewers invade town for one day. Brewers and the Cubs coming up here on CSN. Cubs taking the field, left-hander Mike Montgomery against right-hander Zach Davies on a gorgeous day. And let's get into Craig Counsell's Brewers lineup, brought to you by Southwest. JD mentioned in the pregame a National League leading 132 home runs. Jonathan Villar is the second baseman. Domingo Santana is in right. 2 DL stints for Ryan Braun this year, but always dangerous, especially against the Cubs. Aguilar plays first against the lefty. Hernan Perez is at third for Shaw. Manny Pena will do the catching. Keon Broxton homered in their win as they swept the Orioles yesterday. Orlando Arcia in a real good stretch. His batting average has gone up about 90 points, and the pitcher Davies bats ninth.
All right, we check in with the Cubs defensively. Hey, look who's back. Kyle Schwarber's in left field today. John Jay, yesterday's hero, in center. Jason Hayward is the right fielder. Bryant Baez on the left side of the infield. Day off for Addison Russell. Ian Happ plays second today. Anthony Rizzo, as always, at first. Wilson Contreras is the catcher. And the Lexus starting pitcher is Mike Montgomery. Lexus experience amazing. Mike's been rock solid. Disregard that one-loss record. He's pitched really well. 2.80 ERA for Mike. 64 and a third innings of work. He's allowed 52 hits. That's a 228 batting average against. He's allowed only 3 home runs. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher.
Here are your umpires. Eric Cooper will work home plate. His fellow umpires call him Coop. His high school friends called him E. His grandmother called him Eric. I just made that up. But that sounds about right, doesn't it? Gary Cedarstrom, crew chief, Gabe Morales, and Adrian Johnson on the bases.
They call him EC. Anything really creative like that?
Could be.
Coop Dog.
Here's the switch hitting VR to lead it off. Cornermen in. He's got good wheels.
And so much has gone right for the Milwaukee Brewers this year, but not so much for VR, who had an outstanding season last year. Hit for average, hit for power out of the leadoff spot. Stole a ton of bases. But just has not been able to get anything going this year with that 208 batting average. 2 out of 23 on their recently completed homestand.
As the manager, Craig Counsell. Brewers will fly to New York to play the Yankees this weekend following this makeup game. 3-0 on VR.
Recalibrate. Get a new ball. Get one that goes over the plate. That's always prudent. Enough of that one. Give me a strike ball.
Montgomery making his 6th start. And Kyle Hendricks spot, and that one missed badly, and a leadoff 4-pitch walk.
Montgomery was really, I think, disconcerted by VR. It was a smart play on his part. Kind of show bunt layout. He clearly was taking all the way there, but you know, you're out there in the very first batter. You're trying to settle in. You're 3-0, so you're a little frustrated, upset with yourself. VR squaring around, got in his head a little bit.
Santana, the right fielder. This is game 9 of 19 between these clubs. The Cubs have won 5 of the first 8. Montgomery will lob over. VR led the majors in stolen bases last year.
15 out of 20 this year. They got a bunch of guys in their lineup that'll run.
And another miss. This time on a curveball. 1-0 the count on Santana. We're starting a long road stretch. 14 of their next 17 will be away from Miller Park, but they've got the 3rd best road record in the NL. 21-17. Steve Reichwan
Pitching is sometimes like golf. Golf, you can be spraying it all over the place, and then you'll hit a really good one, and that's what it feels like. And sometimes pitching having a hard time zeroing in on that release point.
Hit hard and passed Bryant into the left field corner. VR to third. Ed Cedar will send him to the plate, and he will score. And the Cubs starting staff gives up yet another first inning run. It's 1-0 Milwaukee.
Ball sharply hit, but I don't think Chris got a very good read on this one off the bat. He was late to react. He's made a couple of sparkling plays here in recent days. And this is one you would expect him to just get leather on, but that was on by and into the left field corner, and a great start here for the Brewers.
So a walk and a double, and here is Ryan Braun. Two times on the DL with a left calf strain. Has missed 39 games total as a result. And he will get the runner to third. When you think of Ryan Braun trying to do damage, I'm not sure if his intention was to make an out on the right side, but that's what he did.
Well, he's getting high fives from everybody, and he seems to be pretty pleased with himself. So I'm assuming that's what his intention was. Yeah, I mean, if I'm a pitcher and somebody offers me that deal, I'll probably take it. Especially a left-handed pitcher against Ryan Braun.
Infield now will move in against Aguilar, the first baseman. He's in for Thames. They've got a pretty good bench today. And missing Eric Sogard, who was just put on the disabled list with an ankle injury, but Shaw, Thames, and Vogt, all left-handed bats on the bench. Strike called on Aguilar.
Aguilar hitting .340 against left-handed pitching. Batting .325 with runners in scoring position. He does strike out a bunch. He'd love to keep it out of play here.
I'm thinking about the recent Brewers history. I know Corey Hart played some first base. Very athletic, tall and thin. Recently retired. But for the most part, they've had some huge first basemen, and it's a big position, right? But Prince Fielder and Chris Carter, and now Thames and Aguilar. Adam Lind.
George Scott, the boomer.
Oh, strike three. That's a big one. At number 2. Aguilar has a few words for Eric Cooper.
I didn't call him Coop either. Contreras slides over the inside corner. Montgomery throws that cutter right to the spot.
There's Perez, the third baseman today. The guy you can plug in just about anywhere. He's made starts at second, short, third, all 3 outfield spots, and he could not hold up on a curveball in the dirt. I think the way to sum up Milwaukee's season to date: consistency. They have not had a losing month. They haven't had better than a 4-game winning streak. So they've been similar to the Cubs, but a little better.
Yeah,
because they're 3.5 ahead. But just swept the Orioles, outscoring them 18-3 in the series. And a base hit, big 2-out hit for Perez. It's 2-0. That
was a big 2-out hit. He's a good player. You know, I'd like him to maybe be a little more disciplined and take a few more walks, but he's got pop in his bat. He can steal a base. He stole 34 last year. He's got 8 so far this season. We talked about the versatility defensively, play all over the infield and the outfield.
Now the catcher Pena. He comes in at 288. They've almost reached last year's total in terms of first inning runs allowed. To accommodate Kyle Schwarber's return to the roster, John Lackey goes to the disabled list. He's got plantar fasciitis in his right foot. And with the All-Star break coming up, he might not really miss a start.
I think there's going to be a lot of back end of the rotation guys going on the disabled list.
That's a 10-day DL now.
It's a great way to kind of manipulate your roster and not have to give up an arm in the bullpen or a bench guy.
Two strikes on Pena. That was John's line yesterday. There's always something going on at 38. Sounds so young, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's funny when you're playing. You think of mid to late 30s guys. Man, he's a fossil. And Pena, at 30 years of age, getting more playing time than he's ever had in the big leagues and taking full advantage of it, having a nice year. And that's, again, that's, you know, surge to the top of the division unexpectedly. You get contributions from guys you didn't see coming. And he fits the bill.
1-2 on him. Well, if the Cubs win this game, they're going to have to engineer another comeback victory. They have 23, including winning yesterday after trailing 3-0 in the middle innings. There goes, and Pena rolls it foul.
Last time out, Montgomery in Cincinnati suffered the loss, but he threw the ball very well. 6 2/3 innings, allowed 4 runs, had one bad inning basically. One huge swing of the bat cost him. Adam Duvall hit a 3-run homer off him in the 4th, but 6 2/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts.
Softly hit to third. Bryant's got some time, and he throws to first to get Pena. 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk, 1 left. Brewers 2, Cubs coming up. over the Rays yesterday. Cubs Southwest starting lineup. John Jay had the game-tying homer off the bench. He's in the lineup and leading off. Bryant, Rizzo, Pap, who had the game-winning hit. Kyle Schwarber back in the big leagues and hitting fifth. Contreras, the catcher. Hayward, his second start off the DL. Baez, the shortstop, and the pitcher, Montgomery.
Brewers defensively, they've committed 62 errors, most in the National League. Outfield of Braun, Broxton, and Santana. Perez, as we mentioned, has played all over. He's at third today. Arcia, VR up the middle. Very talented and athletic. They do make some errors. Aguilar at first, Pena behind the plate, and the Lexus starting pitcher for the Brewers is Zach Davies, a 24-year-old right-hander. He's made 17 starts. He's 9-4 with a 5.03. 91 in the third innings, 107 hits. He's batting .292 against him. He's allowed 14 home runs. He's got a first inning ERA of 9 as well, so he's had his struggles early on.
The leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Jay gets a hit here, Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Yeah, you know, you look at the numbers and it's kind of hard to believe he's got this winning record, 9-4. The Brewers are 11-6 in his starts, but only 4 quality outings, and that one just served into center. So Benny's helping out the Greater Chicago Food Depository, courtesy John Jay.
Yeah, well, I think with Davies, a lot of it is pitch count issues. He's thrown a lot of pitches in a short period of time, so they've gotten him out of there quite often after 5 innings. So, you know, if you don't get 6, you're not going to qualify for a quality start. He's gone 5 innings or fewer in 10 of his 17 outings so far this year. The finesse guy, he's going to sit around 88, 89 miles an hour. He likes to cut his fastball. Good curveball, good changeup when he's right.
So on our lineup sheet, Bryant has had good success against Davies, 8 out of 17 with a home run. And again, you can vote for Chris Bryant on Twitter, #VoteKB. Just under an hour and a half to go before they close the balloting. There's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball off the mound to the second baseman. Double play. 4-6-3 the hard way. What a play by VR and Arcia. I've never seen a double play like that.
It looked more like a football play than a baseball play, and they've obviously talked about this. Yeah, that was pretty slick. Is that Arcia? It's VR that fields, and Arcia is going right to the bag to get the pitch out.
I have never seen a play quite like it. You're right.
Yeah, you see the shift, and a lot of times you wonder how they're going to execute a double play, and there you go.
Rizzo looks at a strike. Davies works quickly. It's 0-2.
Sharply hit. That certainly aids their cause, but again, that's something they've obviously talked about, and smart play. The other option would have been to field the ground ball, race to the bag, and try to get it, and that would have been a tougher double play to turn.
Aguilar able to dig that relay throw to complete it. In the air, pretty well hit. And over the head of Broxton. It really took off. And Rizzo's got a double.
Well, that's been his stroke lately, hasn't it? Left center. Been doing a lot of good work out in that direction. Broxton, tremendous center fielder, but comes away empty here. He had a little bit of a bad working relationship with the wall last year, if I recall.
He did. The season ended. Did he fracture a wrist?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That'll give you pause.
Ian Happ swings away and sends one into left center. It is Broxton. He's got it. And the Cubs get a couple of hits, but no runs in the first. 2-0 Milwaukee. Chicago is presented by State Farm. Makeup game. Brewers lead 2-0. 7, 8, and 9, starting with Keon Broxton. Hasn't done much lately, but he did hit a home run yesterday, and the Brewers win over the Orioles. He also made a terrific catch down in center. StatCast is powered by AWS. This is his major league leading 4th 5-star catch according to StatCast.
One quick peek to see the wall, and boy, what a great route he took.
He's got a little padding on that wall. It's his home ballpark, and a trickier play today with the conditions here at Wrigley
Yeah,
Field.
and you notice he didn't take his eye off the ball here because it's tougher in this, the daytime with no roof overhead. High sky. Look away, you might not find the ball again.
Montgomery working behind in the count again as he walked the yard to start the game. 3-2. And Broxton, Arcia, the shortstop, and then the pitcher Davies. Swing and a miss. And struck him out.
Something he does more than anybody in the National League. 38% of his plate appearances end in a strikeout.
Time now for the Giga Time moment. It is powered by Xfinity. This is an infield hit on Monday. Wild base running play by Orlando Arcia. He was at first base to start it, gotten a rundown between third and home, and watch this. Found a way to score.
I'd want him returning punts. I love the shot of him coming down the line and being flanked on either side. maybe too many guys involved in that rundown.
His average was at 208 44 games ago. It's now 292 because he has been on a tear.
Yeah, and with VR continuing to struggle, you wonder if Counsell thinking about him at the top of the order a little bit more frequently. 359 batting average since May 18th. Early struggles, but a young player who has tremendous upside. He's considered one of their top prospects. He had been for 2 or 3 years, so he's a rising prospect through their system. We knew he was going to be a good player, and it appears to be coming to fruition here.
He'll turn 23 in August. 3-1. Big left-hander coming back, and a swing and a miss.
Give him a favor.
Keep getting good news on Kyle Hendricks. He has gotten back on the mound this week. And, scheduled to throw another bullpen session this weekend, and hopefully will return to the rotation not long after the break as Arcia strikes out looking. Back-to-back Ks.
Cub fans, vote for Chris Bryant as the final National League All-Star. Go to Cubs.com and cast your 2017 Esurance MLB All-Star Game final vote. Send Chris Bryant to the All-Star Game in Miami. Vote now. Voting ends at 3. It's 3 Central.
That's how you can vote. Text or tweet. Strike on the pitcher Davies. Montgomery's 0-2. Bounced right back to him. And we come back. Kyle Schwarber will lead it off. Four homers, 8 walks in 11 games for the Iowa Cubs. Missed the last road trip at the big league level in the first couple of games on this homestand. Returning today. Down in 5th in the lineup. And interestingly enough, leading off here in the 2nd.
the second inning for the Cubs, number 12, left fielder, Schwarber.
People of Chicago, I have returned. Maybe not quite as dramatic as MacArthur, but still fun. He took his position in left field at the start of the ball game. He got the royal treatment from the fans out in the bleachers.
And he takes a strike.
So he's done, you know, for a guy who's had a limited amount of time in the major leagues, he's done some kind of mythic things. So this would be a good time to like hit one out on the street.
The only thing I've noticed that looks different is I saw him rest the bat on that back shoulder a little more upright. There's a little old school Kyle Schwarber, if there is such a thing. Big hard foul. 1-2.
Well, you know, he's posted very good numbers down there at AAA. He also struck out a bunch. That's part of the package. Elevated fastballs were creating a problem for him when he was here before being sent out. It's not really a big part of Davies' game.
Eric Cooper just got a little grief from the Brewer dugout.
That one close. Hard to tell in and out from the dugout. You can see up and down. Cooper just telling Pena, yeah, I missed by that much. He missed at least a 2-brot length.
Topical you are.
And that's the one. See that one that slides off the edge like that, and you can't tell from the dugout. So that's when you're hearing that ball's not low. And then the umpire said, "No, it's not low, but it's a foot outside. Let me do my job."
3-2. Put a ton to right. Foul off the ledge or somebody's finger. And I hope that finger's okay if it did. It was scalding.
Yeah, that'll be the next thing we'll be able to measure. Well, we probably can. We'll exit velocity into the bare hand of a fan. And we'll give an award at the end of the year. Which fan caught the hardest hit ball during the 2017 season? The trophy presentation. We won a time.
Strike 3. That was probably the most hittable pitch he saw in the at bat.
Yeah, it looked to me like he was trying to take his hand off the bat to ask Eric Cooper for time, and then before he could really settle in, Davies was on the way with the delivery. If you're not ready in your setup, you're not going to be ready to react. So there, time doesn't get in, and just a little bit out of sync.
Contreras. Who, as you mentioned, is a real intriguing leadoff option against lefties. He did it yesterday, reached twice.
Yeah, you know, he can steal a bag for you. Not that that's a big part of the Cubs game plan, but he's not a base clogger by any means. So got Bryan and Rizzo behind him with extra base power. He's going to be able to score from first on doubles.
Got jammed that time. And Marcy will throw him out as the tag is applied on a bad throw.
Rare for him not to sell out going down the line. He kind of gave up on that one a little bit. I'm sure he respected 90 there. He respected about 60. A little slip out of the box too, so that probably just in his mind is I got no chance now.
Hayward batting 7th and playing right. Activated off the disabled list on Tuesday. Had a hit, a walk, knocked in a run, did not play yesterday. Got to protect those hands. He's been on the DL twice with the sprained finger and then the nasty laceration. I don't know. Was it in Washington? I believe it was, right, when he tried the sliding catch. That's where he ripped up his hand.
That's as good a guess as any for me.
Pittsburgh. It all blends together.
Somewhere where we had a high broadcast position.
Yes, and some of the warning tracks are not that fine dirt that we have here at Wrigley Field, and that is similar to the infield dirt. It's a little more gravelly. And I don't know what they have in Pittsburgh, but if they have those little rocks, that can really tear the skin.
Nobody's going to catch this.
Pena found
Nobody
a way
wanted to catch it.
Make the basket grab. So the Cubs go in order in the second and trail 2-0. Live in concert July 17th here at Wrigley Field with special guest Bonnie Raitt and her band. Tickets available at Cubs.com/James Taylor. You know how you read a word and you do the alternate pronunciation? I almost said live in concert. James Taylor. That will be live. Big swing by VR. Occasionally will muscle up. He got 8 home runs.
Strikeout rate is up. Walk rate is down a little bit. He's still better than league average in terms of taking a free pass as he did to start the ball game. But just a .178 against left-handed pitching this year. Kick yourself when you put him on without making him hit his way on. Could have been.
The Pirates come to town tomorrow. They've got a night game tonight against the Phillies. So probably an early morning arrival, right? Maybe 1:30 in the morning. Flying from Philadelphia. I believe the Cubs have 2 such return flights home after night games on the road in the second half, followed by a 1:20 first pitch. VR was late and strikes out. And it was Joe's first year. We had a few of those, and that 1:20 first pitch became a 3:05 with the idea of giving guys a little extra time.
Yeah.
They're getting home late, and Joe's philosophy was, if we're going to play day games generally at 120, let's play as many of those as possible. And I tend to agree. You know, it creates a little bit more of a routine, and we've got 4 120s in a row this week. Two strikes on Santana.
Trevor Williams is pitching for the Pirates tomorrow. He probably fly ahead of the club, I would think. I think he wants it up and in. Wide assortment of pitches for Montgomery. Good heater. He has a good cut fastball, curve and change. Does a good job working both sides of the plate. Not afraid to come inside on the right-handed hitters.
Each team with 2 hits. Brewers got their runs in the opening frame, and Santana just able to stay alive. Ryan Braun on deck, 3-2 on Santana. And he walked him. Well, I mentioned Braun has missed a total of 39 games due to 2 DL stints, but they didn't really miss a beat. And a bunch of guys have really stepped up. Shaw, who's on the bench today, Arcia, Santana, and more than an honorable mention goes to Eric Sogard, who played a lot of left with Braun out. The veteran utility man hitting well over 300 now on the disabled list.
Left calf issues for Braun. He's with a lot of injuries in recent seasons, back problems, thumb. He's played in less than half of their games.
Braun in the air, deep center. Jay is back. He is at the wall, and it's in the basket. That's a home run for Ryan Braun, and it's 4-0. 69 games coming in at Wrigley, 13 home runs, so that's number 14 in 70 career games.
Just the 4th home run allowed by Mike Montgomery this year, and it comes after the walk to Santana. It's a double whammy. Pitch is down, but over the heart of the plate, and Braun stays through the middle of the field. Doesn't crush it, but gets enough of it.
Ford a home run replay. With his 10th. That one is hit foul by Aguilar.
The 132nd home run hit by the Brewers this year, tops in the National League.
Braun now, he's 5 away from 300. He is the all-time franchise leader in homers. In the 0-2, bounced foul. All right, I got a weird question.
Okay.
Well, it may not be weird. It may be dumb.
No such thing as a dumb question.
Is there a hitting tool or skill First and 0-2. Fouling off pitches to stay in an at bat, but not putting those pitchers' pitches in play. In other words, are there certain guys who are able to?
I don't believe so.
Purposefully foul off a pitch with 2 strikes to give himself another chance and then square up a pitch he wants to hit.
Well, I think there are guys who do that. I don't know that they're intentionally trying to foul the ball off. Their thought process may be to let the ball get deep because they don't want to get fooled, and then it's a little bit of an emergency swing. They have the ability to get the bat to a spot in a hurry to fight off a tough pitch, but I don't think their intention is necessarily to foul it off.
That is golfed, and it is off the wall. Aguilar just missed one, and a good play by Schwarber to play the carom and keep him to a long single.
Yeah, Montgomery just not on his game here. There's been a lot of deep counts. He's been working from behind against a number of these hitters and giving up hard contact, and we normally don't see that from Mike. He generally gets a lot of balls on the ground, not a whole lot of slugging against him.
So the foul tool, you know, the guy who fouls off 8 3-2 pitches in a row, you would say that they're late.
He's protecting.
Got it. That makes sense.
And you know, I've heard people say that. Well, he's got the ability to foul off the ball, but I don't think that's his intention, is to foul off the ball.
That one is rocketed past Bryant. There's some hard hit balls this inning. 3 straight hits. Contreras is 2 for 2, and now Pena. I'm sure you faced a few guys in your career and you wish they'd put the ball in play, right? Stop fouling it off.
Yes. Pesky guys, you know, some were just, you know, some of the best hitters, right? The Tony Gwynn, you know, that kind of guy. But then there's always just a little gnat, you know, who wasn't trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, so you know, he wasn't taking a long swing, so you couldn't throw it by him, and he was hard to trick. He'd throw a good changeup down and away, and you think you're going to get a swing and miss, and he's able to make contact. And for me, being a left-hander, a lot of those guys were left-handed hitters because their mindset against a lefty is just that. I'm going to keep the front side closed. I'm not going to try to do a lot of damage here. I'm going to try to shoot the ball the other way. The righty sluggers were the guys who were more likely to get the chase. You know, if you made a big mistake, they might hit it 450 feet. But the righty sluggers, typically, you could get to chase a high fastball or changeup down around the ankles.
So after a visit with the pitching coach, well, what's going on here? Pena made a signal to Aguilar at second base, which always raises the radar in the other dugout. Roll for ball 1.
I wanted him to stand still.
Yeah, it looked like Aguilar was saying "my bad" or something. Maybe it's a ruse. When I say "my bad," that means they're going to throw the pitch inside.
Aguilar's very jumpy out there. He's very nervous about a potential pickoff. Some fun on the bases. That's one of the truisms of baseball. Little guys like to hit home runs. Big guys like to run around the bases.
Don't want to give up much more. Already trailing by 4. And it's 3-0 now on Pena. Jack Leatherstitch up in the home bullpen, potentially warming for his Cubs debut. Another base hit. Aguilar to third, and Cedar is going to send him. Could be a play at the plate. Instead, the throw is cut off. And safe at third is Perez. It's 5-0. An aggressive but a good send by Ed Cedar. And they've got 4 straight hits.
Yeah, if that's Almora out there or Hayward, I don't think he sends him here. Maybe he does. Let's see. Jay comes in, gets to it in pretty good shape, and Rizzo just reads no play at the plate and cuts it off. And I think he was right as we watch that replay. A big man who was taking an aggressive secondary and preparing for just that occasion. And make sure he gives Cedar a chance to send him on a base hit.
That will be it for the starter, Montgomery. So Joe will make an early move. So pitching change. It's 5-0 Milwaukee, and we'll be right back.
Rockies Green Day will make their performance debut at Wrigley Field Thursday, August 24th. The band stop at the friendly confines as part of their Revolution Radio Summer Tour. Tickets are available now at Cubs.com/Green Day. Well, that did not go well for Montgomery.
And it is the Weber's sauces and seasonings called to the pen. Call grilling flavor up to the bigs. And this is always a special occasion for a pitcher. Left-hander Jack Leatherstitch, 6 feet, 205 pounds, 26 years old, 17 games with the Mets in 2015, and this is his first major league game since Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, and you go through something like that, you wonder, are you going to make it back? And here he is. He's posting very good numbers, big strikeout numbers down at Iowa as Montgomery's left to ponder. Very brief outing, boy. First really bad one for Mike. He's been outstanding.
Strike called on Broxton.
That's 15 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched for Leatherstitch at Iowa.
Second year in the Cubs system. Missed at the outer edge. First and third, 1 out, 3 runs in.
The strikeout victim last time, and I mentioned he had the highest strikeout rate in the National League. Only Joey Gallo, the slugger for the Rangers, he struck out a higher percentage of the time than Broxton, but he has power.
Leatherstitch is from Beverly, Massachusetts, to the University of Massachusetts Lowell. 5th round pick 2011 by the Mets. It's high and it's full. 3-2. Looks like Jack has the Jake Arrieta flat-billed cat working.
Part of the tribe, the flat billers. Got the beard to go with it. Good pitch. Didn't get the call. And wow. Buxton, the guy who strikes out a bunch. Keyhole in there.
Bases loaded. Is get a biographical look at Leatherstitch. So he's got a birthday coming up in about a week.
You know, I think he may share a birthday with Steve Stone.
I think you're right.
See the way he's been swinging the bat. He's overqualified for this 8th spot in the batting order.
That one missed badly. Good play by Contreras. 2-0 the count on Arcia. As the Brewers already lead by 5 and really busted open here. You see the runners. Perez and Pena with singles. Broxton just walked. 3-0. Just forced in a run.
He died that one.
6-0. The man benefiting the most from these runs coming to the plate, Davies. Contreras now will go out and try to settle him down.
Yeah, so you know, obviously anxious situation here for Leatherstitch, as you mentioned, coming back and first time in the big leagues in a couple of years. A crowd that's on edge already, given what has transpired here today. Walks in a run. Mind starts to swirl in a situation like this.
You know, I'm wondering if Craig Counsell might tell Ed Cedar to tell Davies just don't even swing.
He just told him to take one here. He's definitely taking here.
You know, hit into a double play and bail him out. 3-1.
Again, taking all the way.
Ball 4. Well, the other issue now is that you're down 7-0. It's only the 3rd inning, and somebody's going to have to wear it out of the bullpen. And
right, yeah, at that stage of the game, and Davies hasn't been that good this year, so you feel like, you know, you can get to him, but at some point your thinking starts to shift to tomorrow and the day after, and what your bullpen is going to look like going forward.
VR, remember, struck out to start this inning. Leatherstitch has come on and faced 3 batters, and they've all walked. 2 with the bases loaded. Late swing by VR. It's 0-2. All these runs charged to the starter, Montgomery. Schwarber on the run, and he's got it.
No, he doesn't.
Yep, they called the out. They called the out. Safe at third.
I think Craig Counsell's going to come out and ask him to take a look at this one.
Another run in. 8-0. We got guys pointing all over the diamond here.
I think he just appealed that second base, but I don't know if time had been called or not.
So sac fly for VR. And an error.
Yeah, well, definitely a catch. And the question was, so the Cubs were wondering if Garcia left early or not here. It looked like he clearly went back to the base. It was good there. The question was at second base.
Right.
But it looked like that previous shot we had that he had gone back. So sac fly, error charge to Schwarber, allowing Garcia to get to third.
Six runs in. Santana, the 11th Brewer to bat. In this third inning, 1-1. Down into right center. Arcia will trot home. Davies to third. Santana with a double. 9-0. Braun with a 2-run homer earlier this frame. His 10th. It's in a long third inning.
I watched a sitcom between this swing of the bat right here and right now.
Ross got it into the basket. 2-run blast. The Major League mound is a very lonely place when you have an inning like this.
There's some quality pitches down like that earlier, didn't get called, but the situation called for a more aggressive approach and willing to attack more of the strike zone with some of those walks, especially to Davies, the pitcher. But yeah, it's just a tough situation for a guy back in the big leagues for the first time, and it looked to me like he was rushing his tempo.
Loaded again.
Throw it where you want to. Reminds me of playing golf with my buddy John back in Texas and hitting 9 consecutive balls into the water off the tee.
You did, or he did?
I did. I was and I was just losing my mind. I was throwing them down and swinging as quickly as the ball hit the ground. I was freaking out like a tin cup.
Did you just take a 10 and move on to the next hole, or did you?
I just didn't keep score. I just probably gave myself a bogey.
That would be like you. I got shot a 4 on that hole.
Doesn't count. Boom. Doesn't count. Boom. Sometimes when you're having a hard time locating the fastball, you try to mix in a breaking ball or two, and he hasn't done a whole lot of that.
Little did you know when you hit those 9 shots in the water that would become useful in your baseball.
Well, anybody
career.
anybody who's regardless of whatever sport you're playing, right? If you've ever had that moment where things are just coming unraveled and your brain gets out away from you and you just, what is going on? And it's kind of an out of body experience.
Still 1 and 2. On Aguilar.
You start to channel, at least me, I remember being out there pitching and just trying to channel thoughts into the hitter's mind. Just hit a line drive at somebody. Just spare me. Have some mercy on me at this point, would you please?
One and 2. Here it comes. It's low. 7-run third. 14 batters.
You know what this is? It's an opportunity for an epic comeback.
That's right. Swing and a miss.
Stay tuned.
So it's finally over, but it's now 9-0 Milwaukee.
Legendary James Taylor returns to Wrigley Field Monday, July 17th with special guest Bonnie Raitt. Don't miss your chance to see this Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. Tickets available now at Cubs.com/James Taylor.
Well, all Brewers so far. The Cubs have not even gone through the batting order a full time around as they trail 9-0. It'll be Javier Baez and a pinch hitter, Albert Almora Jr. Talk so much about the approach in different areas of the ball game. I mean, Baez, this is his first at bat. You're down 9-0, so you just do what you do, right? You don't.
Yeah, you just go have a good at bat.
Really change.
Yeah, really thinking about the score right now. That is pretty amazing, though. We're what, an hour and 20 minutes into this game. He's getting his first plate appearance.
One and two. Baez.
It was a major league game played in 59 minutes once.
See the alignment. Way off the line, and that one is lined in the right.
Beginning of the epic comeback.
Baez has been in a nice stretch here the last few days.
So much better when he's willing to shoot the ball the other way. A little salt on it, or whatever that little gesture was all about. But this is Davies trying to move that fastball in on his hands. He keeps his hands inside and lashes it to right. Albert's been really good off the bench. Eight out of 21 as a pinch hitter is Almora.
Normally 9-0, you know, in the seventh. Aguilar's not going to hold Baez on probably, but only in the third. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, and in a closer game, Joe might be thinking about playing a little hit and run, starting the base runner, because Albert hits it on the ground a lot. But normally you don't see that in a 9-run game.
Foul up the long third.
I'm filling out my lineup card today, and I noted, you know, this Brewer lineup, at least today, a very Latin American feel to it, right? 4 Venezuelans on the infield when you consider the catcher. Villar's Dominican Republic, Santana from the DR.
International flares. Almora singles to left. Cubs have something cooking here in the third.
You have to have a chat with Davies and maybe just say, hey man, let's forget about the score. Just attack hitters, pitch. Sometimes pitchers fall into a trap when they have a big lead that they feel like they have to be hyper aggressive. Davies' job here today now, not just to win this game, to pitch as deep as possible to save the bullpen. Not a good feeling for him to leave this one, you know, after 5 innings with a 9-4 lead.
Well, the other thing about games like this is that leads become very relative. And if you tell a manager that a 6-run lead is comfortable. Well, if it's 9-3 in the third or fourth inning after you've taken a 9-0 lead, I guarantee you Craig Counsell's not going to be comfortable. It's just the way managers think.
Yeah, especially because your bullpen options early in the game, you're going to that kind of the middle relief and not your best guys.
Bases are loaded with nobody out.
Right there. Good work, John Jay. We have intrigue in this 9-0 ball game and a standing ovation as Chris Bryant strides the home plate. Fans aren't giving up. As you mentioned, first go around, he's posted very good numbers against Davies.
If you own horses, hold them. And stay with us. We've got a long way to go. Line foul to left.
Yeah, and at what point does Counsell get his bullpen going to prevent a glimmer of hope kicking in on the other side?
Bryant.
This was on base 3 times yesterday, single and a couple of walks, scored twice. Doing a lot of slugging of late. This would be a good time to start, or I guess I should say restart.
Again, hashtag VoteKB on Twitter as they'll try to turn it. They get one. Can't get two though. As Bryant, as good as anybody, breaking up double plays just by hustling down that line. He's quick home to first, and the Cubs are on the board. He'll get an RBI. It's 9-1.
Was contemplating a challenge, but it looked like he was safe at first base. Yeah, he gets a nice break out of the box, especially when he hits the ball on the ground to the left side of the infield.
Wasn't close.
Yeah, it was close. Eric Cooper coming over to push Counsell to make a decision, and Counsell chooses not to object.
Rizzo doubled in the first. Outside, ball one. It's harder to do in the National League because pitchers bat, but and with all the video boards and things as you look around the ballpark, but there are some pitchers you'd almost rather them not even know what the score is. You go hang in the clubhouse, we'll tell you when it's your turn to pitch. I'm not going to tell you how many runs we have.
Just go pitch.
Just get outs.
Yeah, and it's, for years we've heard people say, well, lopsided game, you're going to be more aggressive. The whole argument of do guys pitch to the score or not.
Jack Morris, they basically proved that that wasn't the case, right? He was kind of known for that. In the air, not deep, and Almora's not going to be able to tag. Marcia makes the catch.
Yeah, the theory was that Jack, when they were trying to justify a higher ERA, he had all those wins, and you're making the Hall of Fame case for Jack Morrison. He had a higher ERA than most Hall of Famers. So the argument was, well, he pitched to the score. He had a good offensive team. He had big leads, so he'd challenge guys, and he'd end up winning 75. And they did. They broke down. They looked at all his games. They did a bunch of research, proved that not to be the case. I think what you can say about Jack was his manager trusted him, so even if he was giving it up a little bit, he would leave him out there because he still felt like he was his best option as opposed to the guy he was going to go get in the bullpen.
He just was allowed to pitch longer in those games in which he gave up runs. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Well, I think the other question that's just hanging over that whole topic is, why would you want to give up runs?
Right.
I don't care if it's 18 to nothing. (2-0) on Happ. Got some big hits here in the last two Cub wins. 2-homer, 4 RBI day on Sunday, and then the go-ahead and game-winning 2-run single in the 7th yesterday to beat Tampa Bay.
Ooh. Sometimes, huh? That's the deal. Leatherstitch probably over there going, hey, what about me? Yeah, I was a teammate of Nolan Ryan's for a few years. I was in the broadcast booth with Roger Clemens for a little bit, watching him and any number of great pitchers. You see it with John Lester. I can't think of those guys ever throwing it. Here it is. Take your best whack at it pitch.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a very good changeup. So the Cubs can only get one after loading the bases with nobody out. 9-1 after 3. And an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Your pitcher is right-hander Justin Grimm.
30th appearance for the right-hander, 1-0 with a .426.
Strike on Perez. This weekend Eddie Butler, Jake Arrieta, John Lester will face the Pirates. Trevor Williams, Ivan Nova, Jamison Tyone scheduled for the Pirates. I am thinking that's similar to the weekend series matchups we had a few weeks ago at PNC. Broken bat roller toward the middle. Baez has it, and his throw just beats Perez for the out.
Play like that is where that big arm really pays off. Not a lot of pace on that ground ball, and he had to travel a ways to get it. Quick release, strong throw, gets the job done.
Pena 1 out of 2. RBI and a run in the third. They hadn't allowed that many runs. We just saw it. And an inning here at Wrigley Field in 3 years. 2 strikes on the Milwaukee catcher.
5 hits, 5 walks in the inning.
So the Yankees are off today. Brewers will head there to open a 3-gamer tomorrow night. Can they keep Aaron Judge from getting his 30th home run before the break?
It's already set the Yankee rookie record.
How about that?
Visit the Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind Cubs items. This week's auction includes the Stars and Stripes uniforms worn in Cincinnati on July 1st. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before Sunday at 8 p.m. to place your bid. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
He has tied Joe DiMaggio's Yankee rookie record, 29 homers. But he's done it in 81 games, half a season. DiMaggio hit 29 in 138 games back in 1936. Over under on home runs in that series. Brewers Yankees in the home run park.
3-game series?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll
double
check
digits.
Have to see who the pitchers are. Oh yeah, I'll go double digits. They're facing Jordan Montgomery tomorrow. The Brewers are. So back-to-back Montgomerys. It's only the 9th time in Major League history a team has faced a player with the same last name on back-to-back days. Pitcher.
Three and one. Strike 3 and 2.
Feeling pretty good over there in the visiting dugout.
Don't mess with my hair.
Excited young lady. Oh yeah, sneaking around the corner. Good stretch.
Oh, yeah.
That's a player. Can play a little bit.
First base mitt.
Looks like a young Lindsay Lohan from Parent Trap.
Two-out walk. Garcia struck out looking in the second. Bases loaded. Walk and a run in the third. And part of a wild double play on defense that we're going to see over the next couple of days on the highlight shows. Foul strike on him. Fourth inning, 9-1 Milwaukee. A couple of other games going on right now. We got a final. Detroit beat the Giants 6-2 in Detroit. More details on that game later. Cardinals 4-2 over the Marlins in the sixth in St. Louis, and the Reds an early 1-0 lead at Colorado in the bottom of the second. John Gray last night hit a 467-foot home run. Pitcher John Gray.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Buxton runs, and he'll steal second without a throw.
Well, clearly Craig Counsell's keeping his foot on the gas pedal here.
Grimm gets over to the bag quickly, gets the throw from Rizzo. That was a tricky looking play, and it made it look easy. They strand one, do not score, but it's 9-1 Brewers.
Schwarber leading things off his second at-bat of the afternoon, and Schwarber mentioned while he was in Iowa, one of the things he really tried to work on was shortening down everything, a more compact swing, making it feel like second nature once again. And he described one pitch specifically where he said, I felt like I was myself again. He said, I was in Iowa facing a lefty, and I was really able to stay on the pitch, drive it left center, and of course when it goes yard, that's always a good thing, right guys? But that's when Kyle said it really clicked for him. It all felt like it had come back together again, and certainly trying to just clean the slate and get back to business here today.
Thank you, Kelly.
Well, that's the subplot, right? We got a 9-1 ball game, but we welcome Kyle Schwarber back to the big leagues, and I think that's where he's going to find success if he starts to use the whole field a little bit more.
David Jesus talked about shortening that swing on the pregame show.
Got quick bat, man. He's so explosive through the zone, and I think clearly he's been hurt by the shift. I'm trying to recall when he first came to the big leagues how much they shifted on him. But, if you're a left-handed pull hitter and hit the ball on the ground, you're going to lose points on the batting average. So the way to fix that is to try to stay through the middle of the field and go gap to gap. He's still going to hit his home runs. That's the thing. He's strong enough, right? There's no part of the ballpark that can hold him.
Villar's got to charge it. There you go.
Ankle. Late lunge for the bag, always a little scary. But that's the one he's got to stay away from there. That little rollover ground ball to the right side. There's no food there for Kyle.
Hopefully he didn't hurt himself with that late lunge to the bag. Contreras digs in.
Tell players all the time, right? Don't go head first, especially into first base. Run through the bag. Don't lunge. Don't dive for the bag. But what happens is in the heat of battle, your instincts kick in, and
Davies not throwing his changeup as much as he did the last couple of years to start his major league career. Over 20% last year, down to about 14%. A few more curveballs and throwing his fastball more often. I remember when we first saw him the first few times, that changeup was clearly his best pitch.
Yeah, I still think it is. Sometimes I guess you can throw the changeup too much where it becomes, the hitters start to sit on it, look for it a little bit more, so you lose the element of surprise, so to speak.
Our starters did not give up an earned run in the Baltimore series. And Davies has allowed one so far today and has a huge lead, and that ball is crunched to deep center. Gone. 9-2. His 11th.
Yeah, he's been on a nice little power surge here over the last 2 or 3 weeks. This is a cut fastball. You see the grip on the side of the ball, trying to create cutting action away from Contreras. Didn't really do a whole lot of that until it met the barrel of the bat, and then it went on a merry ride. There's your 4th home run replay.
That thing came in hot. In the bleachers, you always want to try to get your hands on a home run ball, but walk out of here with no broken fingers. And one on Hayward. Statcast had to say. Good exit velocity and 414 feet. Just in the corner of the bleachers in left center. Davies 4-0 on the road coming into this start.
3-3 lifetime against the Cubs with an ERA of 4.91.
The ball hit well. Broxton to the warning track. He's got it as he bangs into the bricks.
Yeah, he wants to throw the ball at the wall. That's the second time he's gotten hurt running into the wall. You mentioned the season-ending injury last year, and yeah, he's talking to the wall.
Well, the wall's not going anywhere. The bricks and the ivy.
And you know that old line, if walls could talk, well, they're saying, "Get out of my face, Keon," but that's a spectacular play. No fear after the injury last year. Leaves his feet, knows he's going to take a hit. I love the fact that he turned around and started shouting at the wall.
He robs Hayward of a hit, and it'll bring up Baez with 2 outs. Bright red batting gloves. Shows bunt, looks at a strike. Addison Russell on deck. Bounce to third. Gloved by Perez, and a strong throw to get him. Wilson Contreras with a 1-out home run. Cubs have scored in each of the last 2 innings, but got a lot more work to do after 4, trailing 9-2. Our Cubs Insider on CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Makeup game today, all Brewers so far. As Davies takes strike 1, we want to welcome all our viewers watching on Mediacom in Cedar Rapids and the Quad Cities. 2 bounces to Bryant, able to lay back with the pitcher running. That's out number 1 now, VR. Well, Terry Francona's okay. He's been away from the Indians ball club here this week. Still undergoing tests to figure out why he has not been feeling well this season, as VR's got his first hit today. Still not sure if Tito will be ready to manage the American League team in Miami against Joe Madden Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Terry Francona, but yeah, just take care of yourself, man. Get healthy. Let Brad Mills manage the All-Star game.
Sure. One on Santana. Big day. 2 doubles, a walk, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. On the 2 spot. This is wild for him. Swing and a miss.
7 different players with RBIs for the Brewers in this game, including the pitcher Davies. Came on a walk. Santana has 2. Braun has 2. I want to say hello to 88-year-old Cub fan Betty Mochek. She's at home today while her family is here watching the game. They wanted to make sure we said hi to Betty.
I want to wish a happy birthday to Chris Brady. Shout out to Rich Hughes from West Lafayette, Indiana. Back-to-back 1-out singles. Perfect day continues for Santana. That'll bring up Ryan Braun.
In the baseball world, Manny Machado with a birthday today.
25.
Yep.
Kids are growing up fast.
Yeah. Willie Randolph, longtime player, and
Not
also
25.
managed. Willie is 63. Probably looks like he's 25.
Swing and a miss on a curve. They will reveal the final vote winners at 5 o'clock Central Time. The voting has now closed.
Probably be in the 7th inning, I'm guessing.
Knocked down by Contreras. Guessing we'll see Victor Caratini make his Wrigley debut at some point today if the score remains similar into the late innings. Well, Ichiro today picking up career hit number 3053. With Rod Carew, and the throw to second gets into center. Here comes VR. Double steal and an error, and it's 10-2.
Again, the Brewers continue to push even with the big lead. Sliding over there trying to catch and tag all at once. Can't secure the ball.
Infield in.
Charge the error to Contreras back. A lot of times they let the middle infielder off the hook on that play. Assign that error to the catcher.
So Ichiro tied Rod Carew 23rd in the all-time hits list. 3053 according to Elias.
I'm sure there's some people watching this game saying, well, this is the Brewers. They're just trying to rub it in. They're running up the score. It's the 5th inning. It's Wrigley Field. We saw what transpired when the Cubs had the bases loaded a couple innings ago. This can happen in a hurry. If this was 7th, 8th inning, yeah, I would understand the Cubs taking umbrage and maybe delivering a message. This stage of the game, I don't think Joe Maddon's thinking along those lines. I think he understands what counts is all about here. There's always that debate, right? The unwritten rules of the game, and Joe's philosophy for the most part is, you know what, you manage your club, I'm going to manage my team. I'm not going to worry too much about some of this stuff.
Ball 4.
There's an old school mentality that says once you get a big lead like this, you just shut it down altogether, and that's why it's the old school.
Never fully agreed with that, but and the biggest issue I have with unwritten rules is that they're unwritten and they are interpreted very differently depending on
that's the thing. There's
the dugout.
You could talk to 10 different players or ex-players about this situation, and some would be up in arms going, man, you can't be running in this situation.
I was broadcasting a game years ago. I'll leave the names out of it. There was a stolen base in like a 7-0 game in the 5th inning. And the following day in the clubhouse, I had to keep 2 former players turned broadcasters apart. They wanted to get in a fight because one was convinced it was a Bush League thing to do, and the other said just the opposite.
All right. And where you used to hear at Coors Field, a lot of that stuff has happened at Coors Field over the years. I think finally we've come to a point where most managers are like, you know what, just play, because crazy things happen there.
Base hit, and it's 11-2. Aguilar joins the RBI parade. So you said what, 7? So now 8 guys in their lineup, including the pitcher, have knocked in a run.
Yeah, and Grimm had been on a pretty good roll of late. It's just one of those days where whoever strides out there. There are no answers for this Brewer lineup right now.
Hector Rondon up next. 11-2. Brewers will be back.
At 15, be sure to visit the Cubs' wives as they will set up shop on the concourse and auction off baskets of their husbands' favorite things, which could include movies, books, gift cards, and autographed memorabilia. There will be an additional online auction July 9th through the 16th at Cubs.com/authentics.
So Weber's sauces and seasonings called to the pen. 4th Cub pitcher. We're only in the 5th inning. I know the All-Star break is coming up, but you've got a big series this weekend against the Pirates. I've got odds on a position player working the 9th inning here today. And Joe has done in the past. David Ross pitched a couple games the last couple of years.
Has John Jay? I think John Jay maybe has pitched. Something along the way.
He might be a candidate. And I think the reason is you prefer not to use any of the guys you normally would use in tight ball games late, in case you need them for more than one game this weekend.
Strop, Edwards, Uehara, and Davis all worked in the ball game yesterday. John Jay has never pitched before. Well, this would be a good day to start.
You know what I like about it too is that he's a lefty. You never see left-handed throwing position players. They're all catchers or middle infielders, right? We may have to dig into the books and find the last left-handed throwing position player to pitch. And then we'll find the answer, and John won't get in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just picked his name out of a hat, basically.
Mark Grace did it, right? Gave up Rossi's first career homer. Ground ball. Happ's got it. They get one. Can't get them both. 2 down.
Pretty play. Outstanding play by Happ. Very athletic. Able to get into a position where he can make that throw.
Pena with runners at the corners. Yeah, I am intrigued about Contreras and Baez in terms of velocity, but I would not want either guy to injure his arm.
I'd be afraid Wilson would be out there trying to hump it up 100 miles an hour, and probably could, but I just don't want to see him out there.
Going through the order now 4 times. We're only in the 5th inning. Well, Swain had a great line that always stuck with me. So if you can get that 5th time through the batting order, you've had a good day. Well, they're going to go through it probably 6 times. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Mike Montgomery's ERA jumped almost a full run today. Came in with a 280. It's now 3.65.
Swing and a miss. Brewers done in the 5th. They add 2 to their lead. It's now 11-2. Pregame presented by Miller Lite is Bernie's right across the street. To see the complete list of the CSN bars of the game presented by Miller Lite, visit csnchicago.com. That was a sympathy. Beautiful. Oh.
Well, there's so many ways you could use that word.
True.
Like, he's a real beauty. This game is a real beauty.
2-0 on the pitcher Rondon.
Attaboy Hector.
Yeah, get your money's worth.
Chopping wood.
Pitcher's BP is pretty much starters. 2-2. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout in his career.
He's not going to get cheated here. In that he's going to swing the bat.
I got a good trivia question.
Okay.
I don't even have the answer to it yet. So we can chew on it and get some help from Twitter as well. We may have a little extra time. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
There are 10 men in baseball history who have won an MVP award and have played for the New York Mets, but none of the 10 won that award as a Met
Whilst playing for the Mets.
They have never had an MVP.
Keith Hernandez shared an MVP.
There we go.
Kevin Mitchell won an MVP.
That's possible. We'll put it on the list.
Jeff Kent.
I was thinking a little Gary Carter maybe. But he had won one as an Expo. Nice job, Hector. He's hanging in. An 8-pitch sequence here.
Well, he has that skill. He has the ability to foul the ball
it off on purpose.
And not a whole lot of room between the infielders and the outfielders here. On the outside, the pull side there is. Like Braun, he's convinced there's no chance that Hector's going to pull the ball to the outfield. So, you know, the center field and the right field are way in. They're just convinced, you know, he's not going to hit it over their head. And Braun's just convinced he's not going to hit it in his direction. If he had a lawn chair, he would sit down.
Ground ball. He's out. But
yeah,
fun at bat.
Yeah, baby. The fans something to cheer about.
How about Ricky Henderson?
Okay, Ricky Henderson. Carlos, how about Carlos Delgado?
I like that very much. How about Jeff Kent?
Yeah, I threw him out there.
Oh, you did?
He was my third nominee.
Sorry I missed it.
That's all right.
We're building a pretty good list.
Oh. How about Willie Mays?
There you go. Strike on John Jay. Make it 0-2. Mike Piazza never won an MVP. If you have him on your brain.
Nor did Rod Gaspar.
Or Rusty Staub.
Or Ed the Glider Charles.
Two and two on John Jay, who we have decided is going to pitch the ninth.
Whether he knows it or not.
Right.
Whether Joe Madden knows it or not. So, you know, I think as you try to search for these answers, you look for young players who blossomed after they left the Mets, or older guys who, you know, finished or played towards the end of their career with the Mets, who were stars elsewhere.
How about Yogi? Aguilar unassisted.
Yogi managed the Mets. Did he play for the Mets?
How about Joe Torre? He an MVP? He was, wasn't he? With the Cardinals.
Had a 363 one year, I think, Torre. It might have been his MVP year.
Caratini will hit for Bryant.
We have confirmation that Yogi did play 4 games for the Mets.
Got a vote for Mo Vaughn from our truck.
Is that a vote, or do they have the list in front of them?
No, I don't think they do. And you were right on Kevin Mitchell. We might have the whole list. Martini making his Wrigley Field debut. Still seeking his first major league hit. We've got a lot of the positions on the field covered too.
Good swing. I like his swing, man. He lets it fly. Hit him, yeah.
So he'll take first base. And Tommy LaStella will bat for Rizzo. So Bryant Rizzo done for the day.
So I guess this would be a good time, if you're Craig Counsell, to call off the dogs, right?
Because Joe is basically saying,
rest my guys. You got a 9-run lead. Now if the Cubs will start to score runs and all of a sudden it's 11-5 game, then Counsell would probably maybe be more aggressive.
And gobbled up by VR, and the inning is over. We go to the 6th. All Milwaukee 11-2.
place at 12:10, and up to the first 5,000 early arriving kids 13 and younger will take home a Cubs projection nightlight presented by MasterCard. After the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases, weather permitting. For more information, visit Cubs.com. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend here in Chicago, so should be a fun day for the kids. And hopefully it's a fun day for the Cubs. This one is not particularly fun. We've had some light moments. Rondon's at bat being among them. And Joe Madden taking advantage of this blowout game to get Rizzo and Bryant off their feet. Caratini comes in to catch. Contreras will play a little first. Tommy La Stella is your new third sacker.
Broxton hasn't put a ball in play. He's had some long at bats, so a strikeout, 2 walks, and a steal. One of the largest crowds of the season, 41,576. This was a makeup game.
Well, there was the
bobblehead,
world champion, celebration bobblehead. I was coming in this morning and I mentioned it to one of the security guys because there was a bunch of people backed up at the gate, and he said they were here at 6:30 this morning lining up. Seen that kind of dedication since the first Harry Potter movie came out.
Three and one.
How are we doing on our?
I think we're getting there.
Guys who played for the Mets won an MVP, but they weren't a Met when they did it.
Going to get the full list, but we're really close. Broxton leadoff walk. Boy, the approach today of this Brewer lineup has been impressive. Not really gone out of their zone much at all, have they?
No, they've pretty much locked in. Started right from the beginning of the game. Jonathan Villar drew a leadoff walk in the first. Santana doubled him home, and they were off and running. Gene Conley passed away at the age of 86 yesterday or the day before. A very interesting story. You should look him up. Won a World Series with the Milwaukee Braves in 1957. Also won 3 championships with the Boston Celtics. 6'8" from Washington State. Pitcher and a big man. Back when 6'8" was big in the NBA, I guess. Just an interesting story of how he balanced his career. Some years he would do both within the same season, just go right from baseball into basketball, or basketball into baseball, I should say. Other years, due to injuries, he would back off, play more of one than the other. The Braves were offering him cash incentives not to go play basketball in the offseason. Sometimes he agreed to that, other times not.
How old was Gene?
86. And then he went on to pitch for the Red Sox as well. There's one famous story. He got hit pretty hard in New York, and they were on the bus on the way to the airport. And he and Pumpsy Green got off the bus. I think they'd been drinking.
That's in the right. And Broxton stopped at second. He was thinking about third, but Ed Cedar put on the stop sign, so that tells you.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
At that point.
Yeah. Yep. The stage of the game where you're going station to station. But he and Pumpsy Green jumped the club basically. And Pumpsy returned, I think, later that day, or maybe a day or two later. And Conley was AWOL for a while. Actually went to the airport, and for whatever reason decided he wanted to fly to Jerusalem, but he didn't have a passport, so he was turned away. He eventually rejoined the club, got back in their good graces. So he had a drinking problem, but when he quit drinking altogether in the mid-60s and went on to live a very full, productive life post his athletic career. Just a real interesting story.
2. It is. Double play. 2 down. We have at various points verbalized 9 of the 10 MVPs who either before or after winning the MVP played for the Mets. The 10th is Ken Boyer.
Ken Boyer.
Yeah, nice job, Richard, on Twitter for giving us.
While playing third base for the Cardinals, I'm guessing.
I believe
Boyer
so.
won an MVP. The Boyer family, Ken, Cleet, and Cloyd.
So I'll give you the list. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we missed a couple here. So Kent, Hernandez, Mays, Vaughn.
Who? Oh, Mo Vaughn? Yeah, you mentioned him.
Foster.
George Foster, sure.
Torrey. Gonzalez. Mitchell. Boyer, and I believe Yogi. I think that's it.
What about Delgado? He never won an MVP with Toronto?
If I didn't say Joe Torre, I meant to.
No Delgado.
Nope.
He got robbed.
Schwarber, the slide and the catch. He'll bat second in the bottom of the 6th. 11-2 Brewers. From inside the Cubs clubhouse. Subscribe to the Cubs Talk podcast presented by Wintrust, featuring David Kaplan, Kelly Krall, Patrick Mooney, Tony Andracki, and more. Available on Apple Podcasts or the Google Play Store. Here at some point, I'm going to give you the quick list as accurately as I can. So this is question you can pose to your baseball buddies down the road. MVPs played for the Mets, didn't win it as a Met. Berra, Vaughn, Hernandez, Mays, Kent, Henderson, Foster, Mitchell, Torrey, Boyer. That's fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. Two-two
on Ian Happ. He's the starter, still working here in the 6th.
He's an 11-game winner last year, 11-7 with a 3.97 ERA. Despite a somewhat shaky first half, he's about to head into the All-Star break with 10 Ws.
Fly ball out in the left center, deep but playable for Broxton. Got a good question on Twitter from John. Favorite, I guess let's go today, active guys. Favorite non-Cub. You have someone in particular you like to watch pitch? Since you were a pitcher.
Well, I was a big Bronson Arroyo fan because he was a little short stuff wise, but really knew how to pitch, and he was kind of stylish too. I liked his delivery. Easy to root for Jose Altuve because he's so little. Don't see him much though.
Schwarber grounds backhand play, nicely done. VR gets him again. So Kyle is 0 for 3 in his return from the minor leagues.
The Tyone kid with the Pirates, what he has gone through. Although we know about him, you know, every time we talk to somebody in Pittsburgh, we hear what a great kid he is. But just, yeah, in terms of playing the game, well, Trout, of course.
How many are you going to give me?
I don't know. I could just, we got, what, we're bottom of the 6th?
Right. I will give you.
We could go an hour here, pal.
Off the top of my head, I will give you 2. Adrian Beltre, always.
Oh, yeah.
Just love the way he plays the game, and I think he's criminally underrated and not talked about enough. He will go down as one of the top maybe 3 or 4 third basemen in the history of the game. Just plays the game with a lot of energy and positivity. So that's number 1. And some Cub fans will be mad at me, but Joey Votto, I love watching him hit.
Yeah, sure.
You have to respect how he goes about his business.
Did you see the clip
and
of
Arenado's the other one?
Beltre, Fernando Abad flipped him up a little 62-mile-an-hour curveball yesterday and went down to a knee.
Yeah, he's known to do that. Arenado's another one, just to watch him play defense. Yeah, we're very fortunate in our job to be able to watch a lot of great players. As Contreras strikes out, that is the second 1-2-3 inning for Davies. He's got a 9-run lead after 6.
taking public transportation, that's always a wise choice. They offer a free bike check that's located by the Addison Red Line station. And if you drive, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide at Cubs.com.
Swing and a miss. Brian Dunsing now working 7th inning. Kazuto Yamazaki tweeting, hey, Kaz Matsui won the 1998 Pacific League MVP. So
very nice.
He gets a mention.
Yeah, that could make that would be a real stumper if you threw Kaz in there.
There's the 0-1. Just inside for a ball. Santana 3 for 3 with a walk. Really filling up the scorecard today.
The Phillies farmhand, the Astros acquired him in a deal. I don't know if it was the Oswald deal or the Pence deal a few years back, and then Milwaukee made a trade with Houston to bring him over here.
Well, he strikes out this time. There's out number 1. It was the Pence trade back in 2011. Yadiel Rivera for Braun. Rivera just joined their ball club as Eric Sogard went to the DL. Buddy Bill Peterson, actor, producer, Chicago native, huge Cub fans, going to sing the stretch today. Low for ball 1. Also known as Gil Grissom. Long run. CSI.
Folks around Chicago familiar with this story, but on this date in 1932, Cubs shortstop Billy Jurgis shot in his Chicago hotel room by his spurned girlfriend, Violet Popovich Valley. A shot in the shoulder and the hand. He did not prosecute, and she signed to a 22-week contract to sing in local nightclubs and theaters. That part of it I didn't remember. She's billed as Violet, What I Did for Love Valley, the most talked about girl in Chicago.
1932.
1932.
A World Series year. And the Yankees beat him and a called shot. A lot
of stuff going on back in the day.
2 down, back-to-back Ks. Here's Aguilar. Ball 1 on Aguilar. A little flinch by Mr. Cooper.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it.
Couldn't blame him if he got real strike happy here. Tried to move the proceedings along.
Good effort by Happ.
Aguilar going down the line, he might have had a chance to play that one with his glove and still get him, but typically on that kind of a ground ball, you're thinking that's got to be a bare hand play.
Third hit for Aguilar. Perez with 2 outs and a man on. And outside for ball 1.
This is the kind of game that often becomes an indictment on the whole team, right? The narrative will be, oh, the Cubs are just awful today, and basically just didn't pitch very well.
Yeah, you have those days.
Yeah.
They're not fun to go through.
They committed 2 errors, but they weren't really impactful on the game. Schwarber dropped the ball, after the catch in left field, trying to make the transfer. And I guess no single play is going to be all that significant in an 11-2 ball game.
Ground ball to the shortstop Baez, and Happ at second. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Gil Peterson, brought to you by Mazda.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor and Chicago native William Peterson.
It's hot. We're down 9 runs. Come on, let's fly the W. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get those runs!
Friend and fellow CSI producer Cynthia Cavatal. Oh, I hope I got her name right. Hernan Perez now playing left. Braun is out after being lifted for a pinch hitter. Rivera playing third. And a new pitcher, Michael Blazek.
Blazek has only pitched once for the Brewers this year. Been on the scene for a number of years. So Davies, 6 innings of quality work here today.
Oh, 0-2 on Hayward. Yeah, even without a lot of run support, you'd take 6 innings, 2 runs. So it would be unfair to say Davies was good enough. He was good. Smash into the stands behind the tarp.
Davies really set up to have a big year in the win department, right? He's got 10 wins. He hasn't pitched all that well, and if he's able to turn the corner and really pitch at a high level in the second half, he could rack up a ton of W's.
Almost no chance we'll see Corey Knebel today, the all-star closer, who has really made a name for himself this season. That is a base hit for Hayward. And a leadoff single at that. Knebel has broken the major league record for relievers for the most consecutive games to start a season with a strikeout. That's 41 in a row. He has fanned 71 in under 41 innings. He has broken a single season record for relievers for the most consecutive games with a strikeout. Bruce Sutter had it 39 games in a row in 1977. Here's the pitch to Baez inside. So I think it's appropriate that Corey Knebel's surname, you pronounce the K. It's not a silent K.
Yeah, no, nothing silent about his stuff. He's got a big arm. He has struck out to 43% of the batters he has faced. Craig Kimbrell leads Major League Baseball in that department, just under 50%. And then Tommy Kahnle of the White Sox and Knebel. So it's Kimbrell, Kahnle, and Knebel, the three Ks with the best strikeout rates in the game. And right behind them, Kenley Jansen.
There's Wade Davis.
Wade Davis has struck out 36%. He is 14th, just ahead of Carl Edwards Jr. Just ahead of, here's a blast from the past, Blake Parker.
A former Cub.
Yeah, he's
got that splitter working.
Blossoming with the Angels. Who, as they say, toiled in the Cubs farm system for many years. I think he was kind of that up and down guy for a while here. Having success with the Angels, that's good to see. Good guy.
I feel so underdressed.
There are no ties in baseball.
Orioles chase the bad one. That's the first out. The only good thing about a day like this is that we play tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
NFL
that's
team,
the beautiful thing about baseball.
You lose 49-3. You got to wait 7-8 days for your next game.
Yeah, you have to sit through all those film sessions. You get humiliated by the coaching staff. How could you miss that tackle?
How do you feel if you're the Falcons? Wait, how many months? You had it, and then you lost it. Ooh, what a pick by Arcia. That was Brian Dunsing who smoked that ball, and it's a double play. Kind of sums it up today. We go to the 8th inning. It's 11-2 Brewers. Connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Now, Keon Broxton had a very rough meeting with a wall in mid-September of last year. Broken bone in his wrist that ended his season a couple of weeks early. And then fourth inning today, robbing Jason Hayward, and runs into the wall again. And as JD pointed out, very angry at that wall.
Yeah, pretty almost the same exact spot on the ballpark, and they later on he was really giving it to the wall. Is that old country song, right? Hello, wall.
I am unfamiliar with that. Artist?
Is it Jim Reeves or maybe Ferlin Young? Hello, wall. I'm going to look it up. Farron Young is the name.
Okay.
Willie Nelson did it as well in 1962.
Ball Sanchez got his first win of the year in the Tigers' 6-2 decision over the Giants. Chris Stratton took the loss, filling in for Johnny Cueto, who was a pregame scratch because of an inner ear infection. Wednesday night, Madison Bumgarner on a rehab start, and as Pena strikes out, gave up 9 runs in 4 innings. But all that matters to him and the Giants is that he's healthy. Apply for an all-digital no-fee loan now at eclicklending.com. eClick is located right here in Chicagoland and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Your mortgage just happened.
Also on the rehab front, Brett Anderson out of AA Tennessee pitched yesterday. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs allowed. This is the 3rd rehab start. He's pitched 13 innings so far in those outings. Pitched to a 4.85 ERA. Brewers got Broxton from the Pirates for Jacob Rogers. Look at the deals that David Stearns has made, the young general manager. Yeah, he's turned over the entire roster, but he's made a lot of changes, and just about all of them have been good. And general managers always say, we're not looking to win the deal, we just want to make deals that are good for both sides. Between the kind of the waiver pickup, some of the behind the off the radar, below the radar type deals that he's made, it's been pretty shrewd work.
At least for the short term. How about not trading Ryan Braun?
Yeah, good point.
Jay's got it. Arcia, 2 gone here in the 8th. Got a low payroll. And again, in this rebuild process, they seem to be ahead of where a lot of people thought they would be. Saw some comments from their owner Mark Attanasio recently. Said, yes, my expectations have changed because of the way we have played, but he then said he's not going to stick his nose into David Stearns' business to say, you got to go out and do this. They're sticking to the plan. 1-2. The Chase Anderson injury could be significant. He was pitching lights out, and he's got a strained oblique. Could miss 6 weeks.
Yeah, those tend to linger.
It's a scoreless 8th. Cubs will bat in the 8th, trailing 11-2. Contreras with his 11th of the season. He was back in the 4th inning.
A little Sammy hop at the beginning, a little funky stride going around third.
Jay pops it up. And one away. Kelly Kroll.
Miller game report. Victor Caratini, 23-year-old switch hitter, going to make his Wrigley Field debut this afternoon, getting to step up to the plate right here, guys. And Theo Epstein spoke about him earlier this afternoon, saying he's been really impressed from his first start to just the way he conducts himself as much more of a veteran-type catcher, because Theo was being asked, you know, whether they may go out and look for a veteran catcher, and he said, you know, if the right one's out there, certainly we'll talk to any team about it, but feels pretty good about Caratini as well as, you know, what some of these guys have been doing up here.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, as JD mentioned, he's got a good swing. Switch hitter. And he takes outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Mike Borzello talking about him the other day. And well, I was talking to Mike about him as far back as spring training. He said he's pretty quick study in terms of his work behind the plate. The arm is just so-so.
Basic. Not a good throw, but he gets his man. 2 gone.
But I think the most important thing too with the catching situation isn't so much who the backup is, but if you have confidence in Contreras as the lead guy, then I think you're pretty comfortable with the backup guy, whether it's Caratini or a veteran that they might go out and acquire. And the rumors are that they kick the tires on Avila with the Tigers. And it seems like there's always, you know, veteran backup guys that become available as the season rolls along. You know, and I think Contreras getting all this work now, I think they are pretty comfortable with him. There's this mindset that catchers have to have a lot of experience to have success at the major league level. Contreras has been playing baseball for a long time now. He signed at a young age. Hasn't always been a catcher, but he's been around the game a long time. And just for fun, I started, looking up. I looked at Bench. I looked at Pudge Rodriguez, and granted, these are Hall of Fame type players. Bench was a big leaguer at the age of 20. Pudge at 19. And frontline starting catchers in their early 20s.
Very valuable experience he's getting. 2-1 the count. Stella sprays it foul. Ichiro with another hit today. That's 3,054, so he passes Rod Carew. He now has more hits than any foreign-born player in Major League history.
Has Ichiro, is he done at the end of the year? Has he said that? I
have not read that he has said that. Rod Carew from Panama originally.
He was in the Twins broadcast booth the other day. He had a heart transplant, correct?
Feeling better?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Deep center. And Broxton will get there. He can go get him. And we're going to go to the ninth. Milwaukee 11 and the Cubs 2. Against the Pittsburgh Pirates here at Wrigley Field. Our coverage starts at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live or stream live on the NBC Sports app or CSNChicago.com. Jim DeShays, you were all over John Jay. A lefty will pitch here in the ninth.
Yeah. And our outstanding research department, i.e. Vince Lodel, with this little nugget, you asked who the last left-handed position player to pitch with. The last one to pitch for the Cubs was Doug DeCenzo.
Doug was in the organization. Cubs minor league outfield coordinator. And the breaking ball. We're making it up as we go.
57, yeah.
57.
I loved watching him take his warm-ups. He was doing all the, the actions with the glove.
Stephen Vogt off the bench to deep right, and Hayward makes a catch. One away. What's the spin rate on that curve?
That's the slowest breaking pitch in the StatCast era. Line, the kick, and the deal. Got to be kidding me, Eric Cooper.
Those might be fastballs.
They're just balls.
Yeah, he's just throwing.
He's just playing catch.
2 down.
Oh, and now he's got it going on. Rosin. I don't know when you're going to be out there again, John. Take full advantage.
Oh, this is bringing back flashbacks for me. I'm going to be about 9 years old at my dad's rec softball league. And a slow pitch.
Yeah, buddy. Burn off that outside edge.
We're having fun with this in both dugouts. Oh, Tina got hit on the backswing.
Drop down a little bit. A little something.
The 1-2 and a base hit.
Because he humped up. He got a little carried away and he threw it harder. He was effective at 57, but at 66, a little closer to hitting speed.
First career 4-hit game for Santana. Might be some position players who don't want to bat against him. They don't want to get messed up. Change up.
Hard to evaluate Caratini's framing skills right now.
Some awkward looking swings.
Fans would love to see a punch out.
Slicing drive to right out of play.
He likes to work the top of the zone, Len. Or at least it's going to pass through the top of the zone. Craig Counts is in the dugout ripping through his scouting reports trying to find something on Jay. I got nothing on this guy.
Fly ball to left. Jay with a scoreless ninth. Rob Scahill will pitch. Stephen Vogt will now catch.
15th appearance for Scahill, 1-2 with a .372.
Product of Willowbrook High School in Villa Park, and then went to Bradley University in Peoria.
Picked him up last summer off waivers from Pittsburgh. This is his second go around with the Brewers this year. Was actually designated for assignment back on June 13th, outrighted to Colorado Springs. 13 games down there. He had an .073 earned run average.
I'll tell you, that'll mess up your swing. Really ugly hacks there against John Jay's 50-ish changeup, whatever it was.
Would have been really great if he ran into the dugout and started screaming out, "Give me some runs!"
Well, John Baker got a win pitching in relief in extra innings a few years ago. Siri, dial me up. What, 10 runs?
10 runs are some of those mashed up carrots that I like so much. He didn't give Jay that pitch.
Jay couldn't throw that pitch. That was caught Vogt on the backswing. We'll hear that up here. A ball and 2 strikes.
Brewers will move to 4.5 games better than the Cubs, their largest lead all year. 7 wins in 8 games for Milwaukee.
They will go into the break leading this division, no matter what happens this weekend. 1 out here in the ninth. Here's Schwarber. He has struck out looking and grounded to second twice in his return from AAA. Getting 5th in the lineup this afternoon.
You're going to need Eddie Butler to dial up a good one tomorrow afternoon.
Two strikes on Kyle. Outside, 1-2. Scahill's pitch almost hit him.
Cardinals won their ball game today, so there'll be a game back of the Cubs, 4-3 over the Marlins. Michael Wacha with the win.
Play in the dugout by their first base coach Carlos Subero. Quickly grabbed it and tossed it to a fan.
Are you familiar with Luke Voigt?
That sounds familiar.
Recent call-up for the Cardinals. Hit a home run today.
Yeah. Okay. V-O-I-T.
Yeah.
Right? Deep breath by Scahill. Pitch number 7 to Schwarber. This is inside.
If Kyle can leave the ballpark feeling good about his day at the plate, on a line drive somewhere here.
Jay recounting his outing on the mound today.
I'm assuming he did a little pitching in high school. Most of these guys have.
Probably threw harder in high school than he did today. I like the approach, as you said.
Well, one, I'm sure you always tell a guy in that situation, hey, don't hurt yourself. So I'll be out there max efforting it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 away. Schwarber 0 for 4. Now it's Contreras.
So yeah, if you have the choice between throwing 68 miles an hour and 57, I think 57 is the better play. Put a little hump in it, kind of. Yeah, Contreras just describing those pitches just now.
A strike. Toast to the game is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. And too many Brewers are options for us. And Domingo Santana, first career 4-hit game, takes the honor. Binny's Beverage Depot, the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Scored 3 times, knocked in a couple. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. So the Brewers come in and increase their lead in the division to 4.5 over the Cubs, who suffer an 11-2 defeat, and 1 series to go before the break. Here come the Pirates tomorrow.
And as I mentioned a little bit ago, Eddie Butler on the mound for the Cubs tomorrow, and hopefully he can give them some quality innings, as the bullpen worked awfully hard here today. And yeah, this one was over awfully early.
So for JD, for Kelly, our entire CSN crew here at Wrigley Field, Len Casper with your final score. Brewers 11, Cubs 2. Right back at it tomorrow at 12:30 as the Cubs host the Pittsburgh Pirates. Stay tuned, more to come. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live is next.